I'd ask you about a website. You've got your Instagram going, and you've got the obviously HarperCollins is doing quite a bit for the book. How are you finding the best ways to promote the book aside from coming on this show?
Oh, yeah. Rob, your guess is as good as mine as how to best promote a book. I'm going on here. I mean, one of the things I'm doing is I'm going around the independent bookstores in my immediate vicinity and bringing the ISBN and seeing if they will carry the book. And like that's been cool, especially when they're like, oh, we already had somebody call in and order for it, or there's a store in LA. There's this little section on Sawtell Avenue that's it's like kind of Japanese. Like there are all these cool Japanese restaurants, and there are chain stores that only exist in Japan, and then they'll have one location in Los Angeles, and it's all on this block. And there was a place called the Giant Robot Store, which is right up your alley. It is just nothing but like non-common collectibles. Like you really have to know a specific thing before you like get whatever anime character they have in a mecha and that type of stuff. So I've loved this store and like going to it because you just feel it's so well curated. And I went and they're going to carry the book, and I couldn't have been more happy about it. The cover of the book is Leo in the pose of the Vitruvian man pose, the very famous Da Vinci circle within the square man with the limbs extended. And but it's my character wearing the mech suit that he's going to build over the course of the novel. And I don't know, I was just so thrilled to see that in the Giant Robot Store that I've been going to for years. Be like, oh yeah, I made a giant robot, and now it's at this Giant Robot Store that I've been coming to anyway.
You've made it. It happened.
Yeah.
That's
Giant Robot Store.
And do you, without spoiling the ending, because there's some things that wrap up nicely, but there's still plenty of room for Leo to go, aside from the fact that he and everyone in the story are dead. I assume that do you have plans to explore?
Yeah. God, I hope it finds an audience. Obviously, I would love to come back on Middle Grade Ninja again. Have a reason to, and
you can come back anytime. We'll just talk about Jared some more.
Yeah. We'll talk about arcades. So it's one of my other favorite quotes I've heard about art is it's like art paintings. Art is how you decorate space, but music is how you decorate time. And that is one of the puzzles that is kind of left open at the end of the book is the music, and the idea of like how you could use music to write some puzzles and use it to solve clues and the mysteries. And obviously one of the first clues that Leo has to solve is a music-based puzzle, and he's playing the piano in his room, and that is inspired by, it's called the Violetta Organista, which is this instrument that Da Vinci again invented 500 years ago, which was a combination of an organ and a viola. So it was like, it had like a rotating drum, but then it had piano keys at the end of it. It was like this wild thing to even come up with. And it's been in his notebooks forever. And a Polish concert pianist, they constructed one and he played a concert on it. I think it was a few years ago, and it sounded beautiful. It worked as designed, and my character of Leo solving that first puzzle that is music based, I would kind of expand that if it was going into a sequel, because again, we're not really ruining anything, but one of the things we reveal is that his mother was a musician. So that is, and that again is partially based on fact, is that Caterina, who was Leonardo da Vinci's real mom, was known in the town as someone with a beautiful voice.
It's crazy how many inventions that Da Vinci had that you can't even fit them all in an Assassin's Creed trilogy.
Yeah. So every canal lock in the world, speaking of canals are in the news, every canal lock in the world is still based on a design that Da Vinci came up with 500 years ago. Like Da Vinci looked at how canals worked and was like, well, this won't do. And came up with this design. And obviously we're not using the same physical canals as existed 500 years ago, but like that design is entirely based on something that Leonardo da Vinci came up with in terms of hydrodynamics.
As soon as we figure out how to clone people from the past, don't bother with me, folks in the future that are listening. You get to me when you've run out of everybody else, then you clone me. But by God, get Da Vinci, like, gotta be first or second.
Oh, that's there's a movie about that's coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's called The Tomorrow War. It was originally titled Ghost Draft, but it was a thing like the planet is being invaded, and also humans somehow have time travel, so they can go get people from history to try and help now. But yeah, that is...
So like Bill and Ted, but with some war?
Yeah, exactly. Bill and Ted plus war is 100% probably how it was pitched in a room.
Probably so. I'm sold. Let's see this film.
Yeah, it worked.